Yo, we are back. I'm gonna switch things up a little bit for this video. I'm not gonna be doing any haircutting. I'm actually only gonna be freestyling. Um, for those of y'all who know me, y'all know that I don't play when it comes to freestyling, and I'm willing to battle anybody. So here it goes. 10 times 10 equals 20, 20, 20. I'm just trying to, I'm just playing, y'all. So for those of y'all who are still with me, and hopefully I didn't lose y'all, we got another video, some more heat, 2 weeks, 2 videos. This is crazy. Maybe not for some, but for me, bro, I took a 7-month hiatus. So it's kind of a deal. We're trying to get into a habit, at least one a week, at least one a week. So here it is. Yeah, this is a super old haircut. But shoot, it's something. It's content for you, baby. It's content. So I hope y'all like it. Smash that like button. Y'all get in the comment section. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right? This is crazy. So I posted a video last week, right? And the last time I posted a video before last week's video, it took me 7 months to post another video. So as you can see, we making some progress here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that. Anyways, let's get into it. This haircut here is about 10 months old. I did this haircut, in October of last year. But anyways, there's some good footage, and I figured I'm gonna drop off some knowledge, just a little bit though, un poquito. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all what I go through when I'm cutting hair. So right now, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to establish a perimeter. I'm going finger length all the way around because we're going to do a nice like pompadour, like comb over style. And he likes leaving that length. So as you can see there, we got a nice flow going. And we're not going to kill this man's crown. We're going to preserve it. So instead of following the shape of his head, we are going to just go off that occipital bone, keep that square shape. And yeah, we're gonna murk this haircut. I'm talking crazy, right? Nah, I think this haircut came out alright for real. So I'm gonna show y'all what's up. Bro, that was crazy. For those of y'all who were paying attention, that cutting blade was all over the place. I gotta work on that. So here I am now doing the other side. Bro, the right side is always super awkward for me. I like to tell myself that it's because I'm left-handed. Maybe it's just because I need more practice and it doesn't matter what hand I use. Yeah. So anyways, now we're gonna go ahead to go to the top. We got this nice parting in. We're gonna use this to establish our guideline to go across the entire top of his head. So the idea was that we're gonna create a triangular shape, and that didn't happen. So as you can see here, I'm around the apex, and then the hair that's in the front is actually like noticeably shorter than on the top of his head. And obviously you can't have not a good triangle. That's more like a trapezoid or something, and that's not what we want. So after I blow dry his hair and I'm seeing how it's laying, I'm like, bro, something's not right here. So I'm gonna go back in, clean it up. Bro, I'm real enough to tell you I'll be making mistakes. A wise man once said, the difference between a good barber and a great barber is that a great barber can fix when he messes up. So shout out to my boy Local Blends for teaching me that early on. And yeah, we're gonna get it right. So now we're blow drying it again, trying to get that style going. As you can see, it's actually looking pretty nice. We're throwing some product in there, so we're gonna let that dry while we're doing the fade. And we got a nice solid foundation to get this skin fade going. So I'm using my Skeleton FX to make this initial guideline, to make this bald line. And what I'm trying to do here is make sure I have at least 3 fingers space between the bald line and the ridge of his head. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you probably already see my posts about it, but it just guarantees me that I'm gonna have enough space to have a nice smooth transition to where it's not too compressed, and it just looks nice. So now we're just gonna follow that guideline through. So if you guys pay attention to, so the bottom finger and the middle finger, from that point to the top of that point is like my bald line to the 1. And then the space for that third finger is pretty much compressing or stacking the pretty much 4, 3, 2 to blend it to the 1. Because pretty much starting at the 2, it's already dark, right? So you don't need that much space to blend 2, 3, and 4. So boom, now we're in here. This is my 3. We're going off the shape of his head, and we are starting to see somewhat of a transition into the top. It's not perfect. Obviously, we're gonna go back and clean it up, but it definitely gives us something nice to start with as far as the fade goes. It's so interesting watching yourself because you realize, or recording yourself because you realize, bro, I say this in every video, I just realized pretty much the stupid things I be doing when I be cutting hair. So literally, I'm going in and I'm making this guideline, blade all the way open. It looks normal, right? So as soon as I'm done, I go to the other side. I don't blend it out. I don't finish that side. I literally just go to the other side. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways, we got the number 3 guard on this side going off the shape of his head. As you can see, this transition is looking a little bit more smooth than the other side. And now we're going in with the blade open to start our first panel. And as you can see, the width of this guideline is about a finger's width. So now we're gonna go in and we're gonna fade down. So I had blade open, then I close it a little bit, or close it 1 notch, close it another notch. Obviously we're moving down as we close the notches, and then before you know it, boom, you got your panel faded out. Excuse my hand being in the way. I was actually using a Canon M50 for this video, and I'm used to shooting on an iPhone, so obviously the angles and the view is different, and there's some things that I didn't take into consideration when recording, but I still feel like there's valuable content here. That's why I didn't just trash it. So as you can see, that this guideline or this panel is starting to look blended out. Boom. So now let's move on. Now we got our 1 open, making that next guideline. So something I want you to pay close attention to here is the fact that towards the back of his head, it's obviously a lot darker than what's in front of the ear. Even though we're using a 1 open, the same guard length, it looks like there is more hair. It's just more dense towards the back of his hair. So obviously we're gonna have to spend a little time making sure that the back of his head, the fade back there, matches what's in front of the ear. So you'll see me go back and forth a little bit, trying not to overcommit on the front, but making sure the back is light enough to where the fade looks like it makes sense. Because you can't just look at it from one angle either. You want to make sure that no matter where you're looking at this haircut from, it's a solid haircut. You know what I mean? So I'm going in with my wall cordless seniors and doing some detail work. I got the fade blade on these, I believe, and I like to use that for detailing. I use my FX for pretty much like foundational stuff, and then to detail, I use the seniors. So now I'm going in, since we already did the 1 open, I'm going in with my 2 closed, making that next guideline. And as you can see here, we left a little bit of a line in between the 2 and the 3, but it's all good because it's still pretty dark and it shouldn't be that hard to transition. So now to match, not to get too far away, but to marry the 2 panels from the 1 open and the 2 closed, we got our 1.5 guard, and it's still the same story towards the back of his head. It's a lot darker, so we're spending a little bit more time back there to make sure that that fade looks the same from the front of the ear to behind the ear. But I mean, shoot, it's actually coming together pretty nice. You can still see that line from the 1, but that's what we got in our hand right now. We're gonna work it out. How do you guys usually fade? Are you guys all over the place? Do you guys do like a typewriter style where you go all the way around the head, or how does that work for you guys? What do you guys do? So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to preserve the darkness on the C cup. So I started with the 3 and I'm fading down so that way I don't take too much hair off, taking away from the definition of the C cup. So that's why I went back to the 3 and then started working my way down. So boom, you got the 1.5. You see how I'm going low towards the hairline but higher on the fade? It's specifically to keep the darkness on the C cup. So boom, as you can see there, got a nice little C cup. He's got a funky hairline. It's not unusual, it's pretty regular, but I feel like no matter what I do, I feel like I push him back. But with a hairline like he has, I feel like no matter what you do, because it's not perfect, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. So now we're going back into the fade. So I always line it up in the middle of me doing the fade because it puts that picture in a frame. So there's a lot of things that I won't see before I put the line on, and then once you put the line on, it just makes it pop. So boom, we're working on the back of his head. We started with the 4, that was the orange guard. Now we got the blue guard, the number 3 guard, and we're just working our way down. Because as you can see, it is still pretty dark back there, and it's a lot lighter towards the front of the ear. So we just want to make sure it matches. So boom, we are attacking. It's actually coming together. Like you could tell from here that it's gonna be a dope cut. So obviously it has some areas that are gonna need some work, and we working them out. And it's okay, like it's okay to not get it as soon as you're done your system. I feel like the game changer is the detail part. If you can go through your system and figure out where you need to touch up, I feel like you'll be fine. Because there's haircuts now that I'll go through my system and I'll look at it and I'm like, this is not going to work. But going through and pretty much cross-checking, if you fade it up, then fade down. And just doing that cross-check, I mean, because that's essentially what I'm doing here. I faded up from the bald to the 4, and then I came back and did the 4 down to the 1. And look at this transition is actually looking pretty nice. So it's just like on the top, how if you went vertical with your cuts, you would go horizontal to check it. If you went up to fade, then you check it by fading down. I really love how we left the length in the back. So right now it's looking kind of bulky. So that's what I'm going back in and trying to touch it up. So boom, that's looking pretty nice. I'll be surprising myself sometimes. Like I'll look at the haircut and be like, oh boy, you know what you're doing. Other times I'll be like, oh boy, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? But shit, it happens to the best of us. So boom. So now I'm gonna go back to the other side. I don't know what that was about. Wow. And this is so old. This footage is so old that I wish I had the answer for you guys, but I'm sorry, I don't. I just feel like something is better than nothing at this point. So now we're going to the beard. I must have lost the whole side of his head, that other side. That's crazy. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. If y'all made it this far, I know y'all appreciate me. So I just want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all. Because, yeah, y'all made it this far. That means y'all mess with the kid. So I'm sorry I didn't have the other side for y'all. I'm going to do better. Some video is better than no video. So boom, now we're blending the beard in. Bro, he's got a tricky beard. You see that patch right in the middle of his beard? Like, I'm not trying to call him out, but that is tricky. When you're trying to do it, like, and other than that, his beard is nice. But it's like when you're trying to finesse it, you gotta pull out all the cards, all the tricks. So boom, as you can see, it's starting to come together. Got that Tune 45 shave gel, little goes a long way. And boom. So now we lining them up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, mustaches is something that I really struggle with. Like, I get super uncomfortable doing mustaches. They always come out nice. Like, I've never messed somebody's mustache up, but it stresses me out a little bit. Because as you can see here, his mustache looks nice. It looks like I know what I'm doing. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I got it all figured out, because I don't. Boom. This haircut's looking nice. I'm proud of myself for this one, I ain't gonna lie. So boom, there it is. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week instead of another 7 months. And I'm out.